Hello, welcome, my name is Slug MTG, and Devil Tribal doesn't exist, but I think it should. Devils have been around for quite a long time in Magic, and they really have a wide range of abilities. Instants and sorceries go really well with Bedlam Reveler and Charmbreaker Devils, whereas Graveyard Recursion loves Flare of the Hatebound and Scourge Devil. However, one mechanic seems to keep popping up over and over again, and that is pinging things for damage. Even very recent stuff like Footlight Fiend, Mayhem Devil, and even Tibble, Rakish Instigator. Others like Forge Devil, Gang of Devils, Gibbering Fiend, Hellrider, Vengeful Devil, Scalding Devil, Vexing Devil, you get the point. There's more, but there's also a lot, so I'm not going to list them. Pinging your opponents and sometimes even yourself seems to be a core part of what a majority of Devils are like, so with that in mind, I'd like to share some ideas for Devil Tribal. Just a little bit of a heads up, this is specifically tuned more for Commander. I do not work for Wizards of the Coast. I probably will never work for Wizards of the Coast. These will most likely never see any light of day. This is mainly just me getting my idea across, so don't judge individual cards based on power level. This is just me getting some ideas across of what I think could be something that is pretty fun and something that kind of lacks in today's Magic environments. Starting with the Commander, we have Phyrex, Blood of Chaos. If you saw my last video, you will notice that I changed this guy a little bit. I changed him a bit to make him more balanced. I feel like he was just way too good. So let's take a look at Phyrex now. We have Phyrex, Blood of Chaos for black, black, red, red, a legendary creature devil 5/2. Whenever Phyrex takes damage, prevent that damage. Phyrex deals damage to you equal to the amount of damage prevented this way. Whenever you take damage, if the source was from a source you control, draw that many cards. Then discard that many cards unless you pay 2 life for each card not discarded this way. Sacrifice 3 devils, return Phyrex from your graveyard to your hand. So the big thing I want to promote here is self-pinging, and that you can get value from dealing damage to yourself. So not only do you have the option of lowering your opponent's life total when it comes to pinging everything, you can also point it towards yourself. I want Devils to play super aggressively with balancing you sacrificing your own life and trying to finish out the game by dealing damage to your opponents. In my mind, it creates this kind of chaotic board state, and really that's what I'm going for, is just Devils and chaos, basically. You'll notice as I show you cards to help hopefully fill out this tribe a little bit. One thing that will pop up over and over again are these red creature devil tokens with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. It's just a very basic devil, gets the idea that we're looking for, and I believe there might be a couple cards that already make this. And so it already exists in the game, and I feel like it's just a good idea to expand upon that. Since we're going to need to whittle down quite a lot of life totals, we're going to need a lot of these guys, or at least some way to pump up their damage a little bit. The next card I would like to take a look at would be Crashing the Party. It's an instant for X red red, deal X damage to yourself, and create that many 1/1 red devil creature tokens with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. This could be a really good way for us to get quite a few tokens, and depending what we have down on the board, this can actually give us quite a lot of resources, not just the tokens. The next card I would like to take a look after that is Party Crasher. I swear, not all these about parties. It just happened. These are the only 2 about parties. For black, red, red, we have a creature devil 3/2. Haste. If a devil you control would deal damage, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead. This would just be a good way to make sure our devils are pinging for 2 damage. There are some interesting synergies with this. We can sack a devil, end up dealing 2 damage to Phyrex, who in turn deals 3 damage to us, so we end up drawing 3 cards just from sacking 1 devil. Or it helps us just finish off our opponents a little bit faster, helps us get some of those bigger creatures off. It's some good synergy, not the fastest closer, but it helps. Next one, we have Revenge Brute. For 2 red red, we get a 4/2 creature devil with trample, and whenever you take damage, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So this is really good token generation for us, especially once we are pinging literally everything for damage. Helps us refill the board, get something down on the board if something attacks us, or, like I said before, with those other cards that are pinging us, lots of value. Next up, so we have Ruin Banquet, 1 red, for an enchantment with, at the beginning of each upkeep, if a player took damage last turn, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target, otherwise sacrifice a creature. So my idea around this one is that at the beginning of each upkeep, we get a devil. If no one took damage, we sack a devil, deal 1 damage to someone, and then we get it right back at the beginning of the next turn. It ensures that we continue creating tokens, and even if no one's taking damage, it gives us an excuse to reach past creatures and just ping someone directly for damage. For the record, I'm not going to show off pretty basic cards that I feel like would be in a tribal like this. Just devil versions of Franco's Command, Goblin Instigator, Dragon Fodder. I feel like they would all be in here, but I didn't make cards for them because I'm not trying to get across all these individual cards, just the idea. With this Devil Tribal, I feel like one thing we would be able to abuse quite heavily are group slug effects. So the next card I would like to show you is Devil Rabble Rouser. For 1 black-red, we get a 5/1 creature devil trample. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Devil Rabble Rouser deals 1 damage to that player. So just a small group slug effect that really puts everyone else behind, at least 1 life per turn. Not much, but obviously you would be running some other group slug effects in a deck like this. We'll get to that later. But we would really benefit from the loss of life, whereas our opponents would find that very annoying. And if we need a potentially big beater, Blood-Crazed Hellraiser is there to have our back. For black-red, we get a Creature Devil 2/1 with Trample, and whenever a player is dealt damage, Blood-Crazed Hellraiser gets +2/+1 until end of turn. And notice that that is a player, not just opponents. So even if we are pinging ourselves to get some more cards, get some more tokens, just whatever, this has the threat to be absolutely massive. This could potentially finish someone off pretty easily, depending on a lot of things, but definitely could be very scary. So those are all the new cards that I made. I didn't make too many new cards since I feel like just creating more at this point would be a little redundant, since you guys probably get the point. I think this could be a very fun tribal, kind of more a group slug tribal. A concern might be that this is too similar to goblins, but I don't think this is the case at all. Goblins focus more on going wide and then buffing those for a final swing, whereas devils focus more on pinging everyone for damage, a few more group slug effects, and really just benefit from aristocrat and group slug strategies. Both are aggro, but I feel like goblins are more pure aggro, and devils really care about the black color identity a bit more and digging into your life as a resource. As fun as it is creating new cards, I feel like the most important aspect, though, isn't creating new cards to go with those new cards, it's taking a look at existing cards and how they would fit in there. There are 2 main strategies that I have brought up so far that I feel like would pair really well with devils, and that is aristocrats and group slug type effects. Since the creature tokens we are creating have those death trigger effects, aristocrats would be the best strategy to consistently get those off. Sack outlets like Viscera Seer, Ashnod's Altar, Skull Clam, those would be really good. Dictate of Erebos to control the field a lot better. Pitiless Plunderer can get us a lot of mana. Victimize to get stuff back from the graveyard, and Goblin Bombardment as just a good extra pinger, I guess, because I guess we need more of those. Aristocrats is already a well-established strategy. Plenty of decks run Aristocrats successfully, and I feel like Devil could be another deck that definitely likes those effects. However, the ability to ping yourself and be able to draw cards, get tokens from that, would differentiate it enough from other decks to give it a little bit different of a play pattern. In my opinion, though, Group Slug would be way more interesting. Devils just benefit so much from those Group Slug type effects. I'm talking about stuff like Sulfuric Vortex, Mana Barbs, Mogus, Dictate of the Twin Gods, Spell Shock, Zozu, Heartless Hidetsugu. All great cards in here. The tricky part would be making sure our opponents are dying first, although that shouldn't be too difficult since we are benefiting a lot from these group slug effects. And just imagine mana barbs, you tap a land for mana, you get a double, or you tap a land for mana, you draw a card. Like it's just a really good effect that we definitely abuse here. Whichever strategy anyone would go for, there are a few staples I feel like would make it in here. Lifelink definitely being one of them, because we aren't always going to have Sulfuric Vortex or Tibalt down on the field stopping us from gaining life. Whether it's just giving a specific creature lifelink with Loxodon Warhammer, such as our commander, so we're not taking all that damage, or just across the field with Whip of Erebos, just giving everything lifelink. And of course, I haven't forgotten about Archetype of Finality, just a phenomenal card to control the board, giving everything we have Death Touch. So we sack something, we get to kill something. And that's pretty much everything I have to say about my idea of what Devil Tribal could look like. I feel like I could talk more about it, but I feel like I would just be covering points I've already made. I'm probably biased, but I think it could be a lot of fun. Obviously, I didn't make every card I could have for this idea, but enough to get my ideas across, since that's where I want the focus to be. However, if you guys would do anything different in the comments, you have any more ideas to add to this, definitely let me know in the comments. I am very interested to hear what people have to say about this. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. It really does mean a lot to me. I know I'm new, I'm not that good yet, but I'm learning and improving with every video I make. I hope you guys will continue to drop by in the future. But now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to play Blasphemous Act and draw 13 cards. Bye!